Hi. I'm feeling super tired this morning, and I haven't really been able to get to my craft table over the weekend because it's been busy, and I haven't had enough energy left to be here rather than resting. So I'm sat here this morning, and the kids have broken up from school. Well, only one of mine is at school still, but they're still asleep. And it's a really rare moment of quiet in the house. But I'm struggling to settle and know what to do and find inspiration after a 2 or 3 day break. I feel like I've interrupted my flow and can't get going again. So I've just been tidying my desk and putting things away, and sometimes that will spark an inspiration. And something made me wonder what I'd done with the bingo sheets that I'd ordered, just some modern ones, and they need tea staining. So sometimes starting with something really simple, like some tea staining, is the way to go. So I am going to tea stain some bits and pieces, and hopefully while I'm doing that, some ideas are going to percolate and start to brew, and I will feel inspired or motivated to create something.
Okay, so the dog's gone out and it's even quieter now. Right, so I'm going to do a sort of small batch tea staining. And what I've got is I've just ordered a new batch of this loose weave muslin cheesecloth. This is double. Hold on, let me see if I can separate the layers. That's the fold side. Right, here we go. Right, can you see that? Right, so this is what I use for my really, really scraggly bits. And when I am tea staining some other stuff, to start to build up some layers of grunge, I use these underneath for a time to soak up excess tea and stuff like that. And then eventually they go into the fabric stash to be used in collage and on covers and so on. So I've got a bit of tea in here, and this is a tea that I've been storing with, I just add a big glug of isopropyl alcohol when it's cooled down, and then I keep it on hand in jars and tubs. And I had an excessive amount, so this was a overleft, and I've had this lace in here soaking and over the weekend. Actually I forgot about it, and so I want to get that out to dry. This is synthetic lace. It doesn't take colour particularly well, and it's a massive tangle because I've been shaking the tub. But what I want to do is just start pulling it out onto here, and we will crunch it up a bit. Sorry, I don't know why am I using tweezers. I don't know why I'm using tweezers. I'm losing the plot. Okay, so without too much squeezing and rinsing, because I want it to maintain dark colour in some places, I'm just pulling this slowly out of here. There's a bit of paper that I'd got forgotten in the bottom of that pot. It's bubbling. Why is it bubbling or crackling? It's crackling because I just shook it. Cool, there's quite a lot of alcohol in this one, stinks. Right, so you can see that's making the beginning of something nice on there. And we will just spread that out and let it drain down into the fabric and dry. So I'm going to put this one aside. These are the lids of really useful boxes. I've got a lot of really useful boxes. They're not all in use, and some of them I use as trays rather than boxes that need the lids put on them. So the lids that I have get used quite a lot for tea staining and holding things. I don't have a lot of room to leave things laid out to dry, so this way I can move them around as I need to. So obviously I wouldn't use this for tea staining large sheets of paper, but when I'm doing bits of ephemera and smaller stuff, these work really, really well for a couple of trays. And that's also why I store my tea with alcohol in, so I can do things in small batches at a time. Right, so I bought these, I won't call them cards because they're really flimsy paper. They're bingo tickets, and they tear off like this. They're really inexpensive. I bought them on eBay, and I've got some here that have like a peachy colour that I've already stained up, and so they're quite nice and neutral, and with a bit of distress ink around the edge you don't notice the peachy colour so much, so they just look like a fairly neutral thing. They started white like this, and I'm wondering how these red ones are going to stain and age, and whether they're going to look too modern or whether I'll be able to make them look nice and vintagey. Anyway, so I've got my tub of tea here, and I want to get this bit used up actually and get this tub out of my craft room. And I've just got a soft brush. I'm just going to get it nice and tea, and then I'll flip it over and do the back. Okay, and just leave some bits on there to soak in. Actually, I want to leave them face up because I might want to spray them. Hold on. Am I going to be able to find my distress spray? It's a very good question. Oh, I think I can see it actually. Okay. Let's get another one. Start on the back this time. Okay. And the front. And then to grunge these up a bit more, excuse the L1, I have got some vintage photo distress spray, but it's really diluted, like, I don't know, it's less than half and half probably. It's probably 25% stain, 75% water, not sure exactly, but it comes out so dark, and so even really diluted, can you see there? You've got a really dark mark. So I want this to be quite grungy, so I'm just gonna full strength. I find the vintage photo spray too much, and I'm pretty sure you could do the same with the re-inker, but I don't know how much you'd need to use. Anyway, you could put another layer of paper over this, but it will obviously dry really quickly on one layer, and I've got fabric kind of soaking up the excess underneath. So I'm just going to do a couple of single layers of these for today. Right, I have coffee, and maybe that will help with the brain fog that I am experiencing this morning, but I think it's starting to clear a little bit. Hold on. Oh, that's good. So I made up this little composition book, exercise book as we call it in the UK. So it is just a lined paper book, and I took the staples out, covered the cover with some calico fabric on the inside, a bit of a digital print from TaylorMade Journals. Excuse me, eco print. Beautiful eco print kit. Can't speak. Eco print kit. That's what I'm trying to say. And these green marks are not part of her design. They're where I've got water on the printouts, and this is how my inkjet prints bleed when they get wet. So it's not sealed. So the point of doing that, and a bit of grungy fabric, and I think that's just because the eco print didn't cover the whole thing, so it wasn't even to make it look pretty in particular. It was just to cover the basic cardboard. So I wanted it to be something that I wanted to create in, but that also wasn't too precious. So the point of just using this lined paper was to not make it precious, so that I could work in it really freely, without feeling like I was ruining a beautiful journal. Or something like that. So if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen pictures of these over that I was doing last week. So this is a collage just literally from things that were around me on my desk: stickers, stamps, bits of labels that I've made, fabric scraps, and so on. And I've done some mark making here with I think that's a Neocolour 2 crayon. Caran d'Ache ones. And then on this page, what I did was I printed out a digital collage that I've made. And when I make my digital collages, I'm usually thinking about book covers. So they usually have like something quite complex on this side and a plainer side. I'll show you. Let me show on this one. Right. So when I make a digi, so that's a digital collage I've made. In fact, that there are elements of real and digital. So I make backgrounds, I scan them, I add things in reality, I add things on my iPad, so you get a build-up of different effects. So I'm imagining this, when I make it, sort of to be folded like that, so that this has, you know, more of a focus than this. So what I did was, I cut it and then I swapped it. So I've put the most interesting part of the digital collage here, and then the plainer elements, and I have pretty much covered it, but you can see little bits of it sort of under here. So under here there's some writing, this text here that you can see there. That's all, you can't see that at all. There, that's part of the digital. Anyway, and then I just worked over the top of it as I was inspired. So that's that one, and then I've done the same thing with another set here. So I took the right hand side and swapped it over, and I haven't done a huge amount on this side, so I've added, so the fabric obviously is added here and the label and the bird, but actually I haven't done much more to it there. Oh no, and some this tissue paper here under here, that's been added on top, and the rest of it was stuff that I've done before. So the collages usually originate from my own ephemera that I've scanned, with images added that are from images in the public domain that I've you know, created, what's it called, where there's no background. I think it's a PNG file where there's no background, so I scrub out the backgrounds and then add them to my collages. Sorry, I'm babbling. Anyway, so, you know, this is something that's quite fun, and it's quite helpful when I'm feeling a little bit stuck in my creativity. So I've got two of my collages that I've printed out. This one being different because it is this way, portrait, not landscape. And so this one I used, when I made it originally, I folded it up and in half like that and made a TN out of it with pockets. So I could use this, and I take that part and tear that down, and then use these bits in a different way over here, And this is what kind of made me think of the red bingo cards that I bought, because it's red, obviously. So yeah, I wondered whether they might work as ephemera with that, but they're still quite wet, so I'm going to have to wait for them to dry. Or I could get my heat tool out if necessary. But I think that I do want to, I don't know. See, working with this one, it's because it's totally neutral, offers me total freedom in terms of colour direction. This one means, well, there are no rules. I don't have to use red, but I kind of want to. That's a slightly different approach. So I think, given the brain fuzz, I might be better off going with this one today and saving the other one for another day. So let's have a try. So I want it... I'm not going to be able to see straight, am I? Okay, that looks roughly okay. Not totally okay. But it really doesn't matter. Right, now, do I lose the top or the bottom? I do that. I'm going to lose some of that. I'm going to use the black ink. That's a bolder text, so let's take the top off. I like the text at the top, but it's not as good as what's at the bottom. So let's just take... a piece of hair. Yeah, so I think I will have this piece just like this and leave it there. And it's nice to have like a physical record of some of the collages I've done. They all stay on my, I mean, I've used them in projects, obviously, but I still have all those projects. Right, so I'm going to stick this one down. Trusty Yoo-hoo glue stick. Yeah. So it's a few days till Christmas now. We just had the announcement in the UK on Saturday. This is Monday. That the parts of the country are going into a tier 4, which is a new tier of restrictions around coronavirus, and that the previously announced 5-day relaxation of rules around Christmas is now down to just Christmas Day. So I know there's lots of people who are really struggling with that news. That they, can't go ahead as planned with their families. And that's really, really sad. Thankfully, I mean, not thankfully, we were planning just to be here at home with my mother-in-law, who's part of our bubble, and not seeing the rest of my family, because they're a big family and it's only 3 households that are allowed to mix anyway. So, and there are 5 households with me, my parents and my siblings, so that would have been too many. So we were happy to step back. But the really sad thing is that one of my siblings lives in a different part of the country and he can't travel now, and he's got really young kids. So I know they're really sad about it. So I've been trying to get things organised and get presents posted to them in time for Christmas. Whether I will manage that, I don't know. I'm still waiting for other family members to get them here to my house. And then maybe I can arrange for a courier or something at the last minute. It might be a bit pricey, but I will cross that bridge when I come to it and ask for contributions from the rest of the family if necessary. Right, that's really wonky. How much do I care? A little bit. Right, let's try again. It is wonky. I mean, it's not cut straight, but this is the original edge. So if I can at least get that straight along the spine. Right, that is a little bit better. And I'm going to work over this anyway. So who knows what will happen. Right. Okay, I've got some trusty tea bag paper here. Tea stained tea bag paper. Do we want some of that? Maybe. Right, what else is nearby? Right, I've got some. Come on out. Where's the? There it is. Right, I've got some scrappy fabric here. That might be nice. I'm using fabric a lot at the moment. Really inspired by slow stitched clusters and things like that, as you may have seen. See, I'm going to end up doing exactly what's on the previous page if I'm not careful. I've got no idea what I might use as a focal point. I don't know what I've got. These are just paper scraps that are all stapled in together. Makes them really easy to use. Right, I don't like the bright blue. So this is tea stained atlas from a second-hand, out of date atlas that I bought very inexpensively on eBay. I quite like that. Alright, what else have we got? More ways of storing scraps. So these are just punched on a ring. And again, I don't think I want music paper. I've just got lots of scrappy bits. Some of them are not very grungy at all. Strips from books. No, I don't like that much. So a bit more in the way of painty papers. No. Oh, this is from autumn. That says Arctic regions. Oh, look. Kind of goes, but it's a bit samey. No. Maybe. Okay. Oh. And now that's on the floor. Okay. Okay. that works. Okay, so I'm thinking that maybe that looks good, and I'm also wondering whether the background's too busy for it, and that would look better as a collage in its own right on its own page. I couldn't recreate it if I wanted to, or that maybe I need to knock back what's behind it a little bit. I don't know whether the pen makes sense sticking out of there. Doesn't matter if the pen makes sense sticking out of there. What about if I put... It's only really that bit there, so I could just use this piece of paper, this here. I think that kind of works. That, something like that. Yeah. Okay. Right. Stick. Okay, so no idea where that bit of map's from. Pacific, the Andes, they're definitely not Arctic regions, but there you go. My collage definitely doesn't make any sense, but it looks nice. Okay, I need to find some stamps. Stumps. Even to please stamp. Looks like a Yugoslavian stamp. There it is. There. Let's see what else there is. That's a good tone, shade tone. This one. Okay. It's a UK stamp, 6.5p, so that's quite vintage. Long time since the first you could post anything for 6.5 pence. Oh, just flipping it around. I think that's all in there. Right, I've just narrowly avoided an avalanche. Green. Here's the blue page. Let's look at my blue stamps. Have a look at this loveliness. Ooh. Is there anything there I like better? It's Norwegian. That's quite cute there. Although why I should be worrying about my anything making sense, I don't know. I like you, and I like this one. Maybe I'll use them both. Oh, such extravagance. Using my stash. Right, and what do we think about that? There they are. I quite like them like that. It's kind of where they landed, but I think it gives a balance, maybe. I hope you're going to be able to hear this. I can hear one child moving around up there. So my oldest child is 18 in a couple of weeks. My younger child is 16, so it's not like they're little ones. There and there. Well, even if I don't manage to do anything else today, I feel like I've kind of pushed through. Really what was a feeling of, I don't want to do anything, I don't know what to do, and I really just want to go back to bed and curl up in a ball, which is how I was feeling this morning. And I've pushed through. I allowed a small spark of inspiration to let me start something, which was the tea staining. And then as I was doing that and going through some really simple motions, I thought about the digitals I'd printed out and how I could use them. And then once you start, it kind of, for me, it kind of starts to flow with some scraps of paper and some stamps. And I hope that you enjoyed this slightly babbling craft with me, collage with me. So if you did enjoy it and would like to hear more of my ramblings, please do like the video, please do subscribe to my tiny baby channel, and if you have places there where you can share my videos and my work, please do so. I'd be really grateful. And you can find me on Instagram, where I try to post regularly, but the ups and downs of life and health mean that it can be a little bit stop-starty. We'll see. I'm hoping to be able to be consistent in the months to come. Thanks, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.